Hey, what's up, everybody? Yeah, I was thinking about doing this video, but I wanted to kind of find the time and place to do it. You know, I wanted to find the time and place to do it. I want to talk about something that I've talked about in the past through audios and on camera and all that. And that's basically Japanese anime, or any kind of country's anime, even ours. But mostly Japan's. You see, I've talked about how, and I'm sure this is no secret to a lot of people, I talked about how with Japan and other countries, with their anime and animations, they can get away with just about anything almost. They can almost get away with just about anything. Which is kind of astonishing, considering that we can get away with stuff too, but we have to wait till late at night. Sometimes these people are like 24/7, some of these countries. But you see, it's not just, what they can get away with. What really sticks out to me about anime, about Japanese anime, or any kind of country's answer to anime, is basically what you get out of the anime. Oh, this guy. Well, like I said, basically it's what you get out of the anime, or what the anime is based around. And I've watched several different animes over the past few days, and not just watched, but I've been introduced and watched to several different animes that, through different people's suggestions, different people's suggestions online, I have watched, or kind of took a glimpse at. Hold on for a second. But basically, I've taken a glimpse at, I've kind of checked out a bit, taken a glimpse at, and some of the anime that I see either from Japan, mostly from them, but sometimes from other countries, sometimes the anime is kind of like, I guess as some people put it, because there have been there's a lot of people who have seen it themselves, kind of been like an LSD trip. Kind of like it's like a trip you go on when you take too much LSD. Or, it's basically the kind of anime that you look at and you think, what the blank did I just see? What the blank was this about? Now, I know a lot of people say, well, and I know when people hear you, I know when fellow anime and animation lovers out there hear people say that about anime or animation, they kind of think, the first thing that comes to their minds is, oh yeah, well, you're probably talking about, so you're kind of talking about Avalon, or Avalon, whatever it is, Evalon, or Revolutionary Girl Utena, the movie, or even the series. And you might be right. You might even use examples like, oh, well, you're probably talking about some of Tetsuku's animation, or anime that he did when he was alive, like Marvelous Mimlu, or Princess Knight, or Bandar book, One Million Year Trip, or what else is there? I'm trying to think. Like I said, Bandar book, One Million Year Trip, Baji, Mighty Monster of Nature, stuff like that. And again, people would be right. But it's not just what Tetsugu did. It's what a lot of other anime directors and creators have done. And what surprises me is some of the strange stuff, some of the WTF stuff that you see in anime, if not in animation itself. It's based on stuff that you would consider wouldn't be off limits anymore. Or wouldn't be off limits. You wouldn't think they would do it, yet they do it. For example, an anime that I watched recently, DVD fabbed for my collection, which obviously got sort of a international worldwide release, limited international worldwide release, I should say, and that is Paprika. And this basically, for any of you that have watched this, basically deals with when you go into a dream state, basically you become somebody else. You feel like it. You basically become somebody else. Now, I thought I saw my sister drive by. Like I say, you become somebody else in this dream state. Or you can become whatever you want. I mean, there are examples where when she enters this dream state, all she has to do is, like, let's say, enter into a picture, and she becomes whatever in that picture. For example, she can become a sphinx, a griffin, whatever you want to call it. Or she becomes a mermaid, or a doll, or whatever. Or in some cases, there's this one scene where she's tied down by an individual who's infatuated, not with the Paprika character in the dream, but with the lady that becomes Paprika in the dream. Sounds strange, I know. The doctor that becomes Paprika in the dream. He's infatuated with her to the point that he literally, and this is the truth. This is the truth, ladies and gentlemen. He literally peels off her Paprika's skin to reveal the woman underneath. The doctor underneath. Basically, he peels away Paprika's skin as if it's a bodysuit. Now, we all know about bodysuits and cosplays and all that, right? Basically, it's a big costume you put on and you become that character. Anyway, he peels away the Paprika skin or body. It makes it look like a bodysuit because he's that infatuated with this woman. And there's other things too. It's like you see the Paprika girl walking in one area, and then you see like a fairy version of her. And it's just, and again, this is one of those animes you're like, okay, I don't understand this. And then the ending really trips you out because basically Paprika and this doctor in the dream, because basically obviously both dream world and real world kind of come together, and basically because of this, the doctor and the Paprika character, let me just say, at the end combine to become one, which again would really trip out anybody. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's not just that which is kind of makes and sometimes people look at it as an anime that's strange and like, what the blank did I just watch? No, sometimes you get animes that are actually, like I say, start basing themselves off stuff you wouldn't think they would ever base animes off of. There's one anime, let me just say this, because it's a very mature anime. That's all I'm going to say. But it's got the word cosplay and machine in surrounding them. That's what it's got. It's got the words cosplays and machine in the title. That's all I'm going to say. And from what I was told about this, because again, some people suggested, some people suggested just by from what I've seen, from what I've looked up, because I went to Google and I typed up strange animes, or strange things you find in anime, or strange things, or strange kind of animes. So I just typed it in just to see what would be there. And what surprised me was this title, from a mature title, was listed. And basically what it is you have this character, this female android character, which basically is lifelike. Basically is a shapeshifter, if you will. And she could change her appearance into anything. Or anyone. Basically, she can become, according to what some people have told me, she can become any different anime character there on the screen. Now, according to what I've read online, is when she becomes certain anime characters or portrayals of them, they have to black out the eyes or whatever, just so you don't have an idea of who it is. But yeah. Basically there's an anime where you have one of the main characters basically be able to cosplay as different anime characters, or different characters of people or things. Heck, there's one scene, according to one person, where she turns into some kind of a big bug. Her face is at the bottom, her feet are on the top, but it's like, again. And this is one of those animes that's listed as one of the strangest animes. You look at Google and you look up cosplay, you look up strange anime or something like that, a machine, and you kind of get the idea. But if that's not trippy enough for you, that's not strange enough for you, there's even an anime, I didn't even know about this, well, basically the girls, the heroines, if you will, in this anime are actually steel, aluminum and steel soda cans that have to be purchased at a machine, that come out of a vending machine and battle each other. How crazy is that? So I'm not going to be surprised in the future of anime, of Japanese anime or other countries' anime, even ours if that's the case, if we start incorporating stuff that we only look up in fantasy. I mean, in fantasy or in fan fiction. I mean, there are some friends I have online at different websites like Furvidiant and DeviantArt and all that. That, like I said, on Furvidiant and DeviantArt and all that, they have stories and characters that have different abilities and powers that if they had the opportunity to sell these ideas or get these characters and ideas, these character stories and ideas to become a reality in let's say an anime or animation company in Japan or here in the US or in another country said, yeah, sure, we'll do it, they would go for it. I mean, there's one person that has a series of characters that all they have to do is get close to each other. They kind of have the power of, I guess you could say, shape-shifting, liquid, morphing, whatever you call them, melting. And all they have to do is get close to each other sometimes, or even drink a different kind of elixir, and they basically fuse together, become one individual. And they become that individual in mind and personality. There's one person that did a story for me for my birthday recently, has a character which is made out of complete ebony fluid, black fluid, and can become anything she desires. And I'm thinking, this character, And I'm thinking, man, wouldn't it be something if this person's character became a series or was adapted into anime and animation? Basically what I'm saying, folks, is that's basically what I'm saying, using these as examples. And even another one where one person has a girl that used to be human, but through some kind of experiment got turned into a red goo girl, slime girl called Cat. That I'm thinking, man, you know, the interactions this character could have. I mean, I'm thinking, man, the show this person could have with this character and an interaction with the other characters they have them interact with. To me, it's like this would be huge. This would be huge for them. And again, like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if it does happen, because basically nowadays you have animes and animations out of other countries, Japan and even here in the U.S., that could be based off anything, and there's nothing basically off limits anymore. I mean, there's certain situations as well. Let's call them the UBs and the SVs and whatever you want to call them, the CVs, whatever you want to call them. I don't understand these terms anyway, from what people have said. But basically, you have all these different themes, fetishes, if you will, under these names, under these code words, that I wouldn't be surprised nowadays that anime in Japan, if not in other countries, would take advantage into a show. So, to me, you know, when I look at something like Paprika, when I look at something like the cosplay anime and others like it, it just proves to me that nowadays nothing, when it comes to anime or even animation in Japan and other countries, maybe even ours, is not off limits. It's not. So that's all I'm going to say on it. Let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with what I had to say on this? And